Hi there, I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're one of the lovely people who've subscribed, then thank you ever so much. It encourages me to carry on making these little videos, and I feel like people are actually watching them. If you haven't subscribed and you want to follow my me-made journey in 2023, then hit the subscribe button. It's free of charge. And any likes to my videos are more than welcome as well. So, what have I been up to? Well, the weather was on the change and it was starting to get a little bit sunny. So I thought it's time to rearrange my wardrobe and put my winter stuff away or up on the top rail. Basically, my wardrobe has two rails. It's split in half, but being vertically challenged at 5 foot, I have to stand on a chair to get stuff out of the top rail on all the wardrobes. So seasonally, I move everything round, if you get my drift. So I thought it's time to start moving the winter stuff onto the top rail and the spring and summer stuff down onto the bottom rail, and then I can see where the gaps are in my wardrobe to start making things that I really need instead of just on a whim, which is what I normally do, and I probably still will do, but I'm trying. Anyway, as I was doing it, I realised how many of certain garments I'd made and how much I'd actually worn them. So I thought, two-pronged approach, I would introduce people to jersey fabrics if you've not used them before and recommend some easy patterns to follow and fabrics you should be using when you first start, and show you the makes that I made in 2022 that I've worn the most. So these are my me-made top tips for jersey and sweatshirt fabrics. Drum roll! Here we go! So the first one is the one that I've got on. Oh, gorgeous is that fabric. This was one of the first sweatshirts. Well, it was the first sweatshirt that I made. I'm so proud of it. I was scared of using jersey fabrics, but my God, I use it probably more than I use woven fabrics. It's so easy and so forgiving with size-wise because it stretches that I've never looked back. When I first started, I was using my normal sewing machine, which does have a stretch stitch on it. But now, because I'm addicted to jersey, I've got an overlocker. I got the Brother 432 something, can't remember. But it's really easy to use. Don't be afraid of an overlocker. I've never looked back. Anyway, I'm digressing, aren't I? I'm meant to be telling you about the patterns that I recommend that I've worn most over the winter and that I would recommend to a beginner sewer and maybe an intermediate. There's one that might be. So there's 3 patterns, and the first one I'm wearing, which is the Billie Sweatshirt and Dress. Now, I know that some of you watching this will go, oh God, not the Billie again. But honestly, it is such a wardrobe workhorse pattern. I absolutely love it. So this is the first one that I've made. I've also made, just grab from my pile. This is the dress version. You're spotting a theme. Leopard print. I'm addicted to it. Keep trying to move away from it, but come back to it all the time. And that's it in a green, and it's the dress. And the dress has secret pockets in the side as well. How gorgeous is that? And then the third Billie, see, addicted to a pattern, but honestly, is wow, bright yellow. Now, this has been done in a French terry. The other two are in a fleece sweatshirt. French terry is a brilliant jersey fabric for a beginner. It's got a loop back on the back. See that? Can you see the little loops instead of the fleece? And it's just that little bit more stable. So if you're a beginner to jersey, get French terry. It's called on a lot of the sites, and that's what this is. So loop back French terry in this amazing bright yellow. Wow. And then, yes, there's another one. The last one that I made was in this gorgeous blue flowery fabric. How pretty is that? Now, I've not worn blue for ages, didn't think it suited me, but I've actually worn it a lot, and I don't think it looks too bad. So, in the interest of knowing what they really look like on, I'm going to give you a little catwalk of my Billies, and I'll come back and chat again in a minute. So that's the Tilly and the Buttons Billie Sweatshirt and Dress. How gorgeous is that? It comes as a PDF or a paper pattern, and you can get them directly from Tilly and the Buttons, or a lot of fabric shops sell them. Personally, I get a lot of my patterns from an online shop called The Fold Line, but you can do whatever you choose. I'll pop the link to Tilly and the Buttons and The Fold Line in the comments for you anyway. So let's take a look at the pattern. It comes in a UK size 6 to 24, and you can have a standard sleeve, you can have the ruched sleeve, which you'll notice in all of my sweatshirts I've done that because I've got narrow shoulders. I think it helps to balance me out by putting a bit of a bigger sleeve in. And the dress comes with the option of those cute side pockets as well. The fabric recommendations are sweatshirt fleece, which we've done, French terry, ponte, not tried that, might make one in that, double knit, interlock, or sweat knit with at least 10% stretch. So not a lot of stretch, basically any jersey fabric, but fairly stable ones, which is why it is good for a beginner going into the jersey journey. So what else do you need apart, obviously, from your fabric? You can use cuffing like I've got here, and I'll show you what it looks like on a roll. Or just cute little sparkles on this one. Love it. Yes. Supplies. Optional ribbon and cuffing. Your fabric, obvs. Matching thread. And then the last thing that you can use is some stabilizer for the shoulders. And I tend to use Fram Elastic, which I'll show you all my little hints and tips and gadgets at the end that I use. So let's see how much fabric you need. For the version with the normal setting sleeve, you can get away, if you're a midget like me, with 1.5 metres, going up to 2.3 metres depending on your size. If you want the balloon sleeves, that's what they're called, not puffy sleeves, balloon sleeves. You start at 2.1 metres and go up to 2.8 metres. And then for the dress, you start at 2.8 metres and go up to 3.2 metres. It's quite a lot for that dress. But, you know, it's a workhorse. I wear them a lot, so it's worth it. So that's the Billie from Tilly and the Buttons. I've made 4 of them in sweatshirt and French terry. I've not tried them in a knit fabric. Maybe I'll do that next time. So I recommend this for a beginner, or anybody really who wants to start doing jersey. Tilly and the Buttons patterns have a lot of instructions in them. They're really good hand-holding pattern. Let me just pull out the leaf and you can see you get a lovely colour brochure with lots of pictures, clear images as you go along. So really hand-holding kind of pattern. And I've made 4, so I love it. So we'll move on now to my next workhorse me-made sweat jersey top from 2022. So this is my next recommendation, and it's a great beginner pattern if you want to start using more floaty modal type jerseys, and it's the Adrienne blouse by the Friday Pattern Company. Again, it's been out a while, but it still sells like hotcakes, which is a sure sign of a really good pattern. It's super easy. There's only 2 pattern pieces, or is it 3, a front, a back and sleeve? And although it's got cuff on the neckband and it looks really complicated where it joins here to the elasticated bit, it's actually really simple once you get into it. And I could probably run 3 or 4 of these off in an afternoon if I wanted 3 or 4 of them, which I don't. I've got far too many clothes. So I've made how many? A few of these. I'll show you them now. Just grab the first one. I think I've put these a bit too far away. That was silly of me, wasn't it? They're all on hangers and they're all getting stuck together. Oh my god, this is a bright one. But I've actually worn this one more than any of the others, surprisingly for me, because I don't usually go for anything quite so bright, but maybe my taste in clothes is changing. This fabric is quite flimsy, so I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner. But once you've made a couple of them, or even one, and got your head around it, give it a go. I got this from Sew Essentials, and it's an ex-designer fabric. So that's that one. The next one has been done in a cotton jersey, which is the easiest type to use. So look for cotton jersey fabric and make one up. Look at those gorgeous orange flowers. So that's in a cotton jersey. And then I saw just before Christmas, I think it was on Instagram, somebody, so I pinched the idea, made one. Look how gorgeous that is. In stretch velvet. Oh, look at that. Love it, love it, love it. It's making my light go funny. It's so bright. So that's it in stretch velvet. And I love them all. I wear them all a lot of the time. So again, I'll give you a little twirl in my Adrienne blouses so you can get a real feel for what they look like on. And then I'll pop back with the information off the pattern. So here it is, the Daydream blouse by Friday Pattern Company. So what do you need to make one of these gorge blouses? The sizes first start from an extra small to a 4X, which is quite big inclusive size range, to be honest. So it starts from a bust size 32 and goes up to a bust size 53 to 54. And how much fabric do we need? They're not putting it all on the same bit. Sorry, need my specs on and I've not got them. So for the smallest size, you need, it depends on the width of your fabric. If your fabric is 60 inches wide, which to be honest, a lot of jersey is, you only need 1.3 meters of fabric up to a size XXL. And then after that, for the 60 wide, you need 1.8 meters. Yeah. So it's either 1.3 or 1.8 meters, depending on your size. The fabrics that they recommend, do they recommend fabrics on this one? Jersey fabrics. Light to medium weight jersey fabrics with a decent amount of movement is basically all it says. So the world of jersey is your oyster with this one. So give it a try. I'll put the link down below to where you can get it from the Fold line. It comes in a paper or PDF format, so something for everybody. And I love this. I bought it to make some tops for the spring, which you can see the others all are, but then when this one popped up on Instagram as a Christmas top, I thought, oh, I hadn't thought of that. How fabulous. And I actually found I had found some stretch velvet in a gorgeous peacock blue colour, but by the time I got round to going back to order it, all gone, because everybody else thought it was fantastic as well. But actually, this claret colour, very Christmassy. Anyway, so the last of my jersey journey patterns is, drumroll, the pearl cardigan. Of course, it has to be, doesn't it? So I'll just do a quick change and talk to you about that one. So here I am in my first pearl wrap cardigan, top, whatever you want to call it. I absolutely love, love, love this pattern. Obviously, it wouldn't be in my jersey mate recommendations. Teeth back in, Christine. Let me just grab the pattern and then I know what I'm talking about. Here it is. Do you know what I've just noticed? It looks absolutely gorgeous in that pink, doesn't it? I've got some shocking pink leopard print jersey. Oh my god. It's making my mouth water. I might have to make one in that. We'll see. For the spring. So this one has been done in a subtle leopard print fabric. A gorgeous beige colour with a bit of glitter. And I've worn this loads for going out. Quite dressy. Anyway, you'll see when I give you the twirl afterwards. So that's my first pearl. The second one, I obviously had a lot of this bright yellow fabric because I have also made one. A Billie and a pearl. Why not? So that's it in my dandelion yellow print. And as I said before, that one's a French jersey, French terry. This one is a jacquard knit. And I only made 3 of these, amazingly, for me. But the third one, you can also make the pearl in a short or a shorter sleeve top. And I made this for spring. And this has been done in a leopard print, ditzy leopard print, cotton jersey. So this is quite stable fabric to sew with if you're dipping your toe into jersey. So there we go. They're the 3. So I'll do my last little twirl and then I'll talk to you about the pearl. So there we have it, the pearl. What did you think of that one? I love it. I love this t-shirt version. It's great for spring. So again, it's a Tilly and the buttons. Great instructions for beginners. And great size range as well. It goes up to from a UK 6 up to a UK 24. And let's have a look how much fabric you need. So we're going to say that the fabric is 60 wide. So for the long sleeve with balloon sleeves, my favourite kind of sleeve, you're going to need 1.9 metres up to a size 5, which is a UK 14. And then it goes up to 2.2 metres for the sizes up to the UK 24. The short sleeve only uses 1.8 metres or 1.9 metres. So there we have it. Do they recommend fabrics? Of course they do. It's Tilly and the Buttons. So medium weight drapey knit fabrics with at least 20% stretch, such as knit, sweater knit, jacquard knit, stretch velvet, ponte, interlock, lightweight French terry. So quite a lot of fabrics, well, jersey fabrics to choose from there. So I wouldn't, if you're new to sewing jerseys, I wouldn't start with this one. I'd start with the Billie. That's an easy sweatshirt. Then go on to either the Adrienne or the Pearl. But there's lots of instructions in them. Jersey isn't as hard as you think, and it doesn't fray. So if you don't want to, you don't have to finish off your seams. How fabulous is that? So you'll remember earlier I said I was going to give you some hints and tips. Well, ish. Now I am. I'm going to tell you some things that you can use for jersey to try and make it easy. I've just dropped one of them on the floor. Just wait a minute. I dropped 2 of them on the floor, which doesn't help. You'll notice that I use some sparkly colour around the necks and the cuffs on some of mine, and this is what it is. It comes on a roll, it's already done for you, and it's stretch cuffing. I love it. It isn't cheap, so I tend to use it on the collars and cuffs, and then the waistband, I just use the fabric that I'm making the garment out of. You can use that for everything, like on this pearl. It's all done in the same fabric. But if you're doing a sweatshirt, there's lots of these about. And this brand is Poppy. So have a look. It saves on your sewing time because that part's already done for you. Little tip. So on the pearl, they've used this, which is iron-on stay tape to help it keep its shape. See if I can show you. It's on the inside of the seams and it's ironed on all the way around because it's a wrap to stop it stretching out. So that's stay tape on a roll. And again, I'll pop a link down below. Amazon for it. Don't have to get it from there, but it's a very good place to get all your little bits and bobs when you're not ordering a load, because a lot of the smaller haberdashery shops charge you postage. You can get all this stuff on Amazon and get it on free postage most of the time. Right, I digress. So the other thing that I use is this Fram elastic. Now this stuff, it's like plastic and it stretches. I use this on the shoulders to stop them bagging out. So you sew it onto one half, usually the back, at the shoulder seam first, and then sew the back to the front, sandwiching this in. And it helps keep the structure around the shoulders of your garment. So it will last longer. And then the last thing, I've recently been introduced to this stuff. Oh my God, what a game changer it is. Stretch Fix. What is it? It's like glue on a roll. So basically, the hardest thing I've found, or did find, when I first started sewing with jersey fabrics was doing the hems. Not on a sweatshirt, if you're doing a t-shirt, or like, they're all on the floor. The Adrienne blouse, you've got to hem the bottom. And what can happen is it starts stretching out and oh, it can look a real mess unless you're super, super careful. But this stuff, OMG. Basically, you iron it on. It's like on a piece of paper. So you cut it to size, hot iron it on, then you peel the paper off and it leaves a layer of glue all the way round. So then you fold your hem over halfway so there's glue on both sides, so it's half and half. Iron it again, sticks it all together. It stabilises it like nobody's business. It doesn't move, and then you can sew your hem. No rippling, no hassle. Whiz it off. Oh, the time and aggravation this stuff is saving me is unbelievable. Sorry to go on, but when you find something that really works, you get all these things recommended, and then you think, well, that didn't work for me. This certainly does. Totally recommend it. Put the link below. So that's me done for this little session. Jersey fabrics, give them a try. If you need any help or advice, I'll try and help you. Put it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Happy sewing, everybody. Give jersey a try and you won't look back. See you next time.